Hey everybody, come in if you're here. Let me see. I am doing a Facebook Live and I am trying the camera this time on the Facebook Live from the desktop version. All this new fancy schmancy stuff that Facebook keeps rolling out. Okay, I see myself. That's really weird. All right. What I want to do real quick is I'll probably switch over to the screen in a couple minutes. While I was in Maryland yesterday, the day before yesterday, I had posted something right before I went to teach a class on real estate agent reviews. And what I shared actually started this huge debate, which I did not expect at all. So what I wanted to do was come back on and make sure that there's an understanding about what it is that I'm saying is important about reviews and that we know how to go about doing what it was I was talking about. If you have a comment or question or say hi, I see you guys. I see Lisa, I see Brooke, I see Scott, I see Jim, Steve, Matt, DJ, Troy. Okay, this is probably still going to be a debatable topic. So you guys want to debate, I'm open. Let's chat about it. My personal belief is real estate agent reviews it's probably the one thing that you could focus on that could make the most significant difference in your brand for 2018, for your brand reputation, for getting more business. And so reviews is something I've been focusing a lot on. My new real estate websites that I build, we put a special new focus on reviews, and I'm going to show you the screen in a couple of minutes. It looks like I can't do both. I don't see how I have the ability to share the screen, unfortunately, and the camera. And in fact, now that I'm sharing the camera, I don't even see the option to share the screen anymore, so we might just have to talk for a minute, and then I might have to come back on and show the screen. All right, well, I'm learning. That's how we figure this stuff out. All right, so what I said was that I had accomplished what I set out to do, which was rank my own real estate agent website for the term reviews with my brand name. Okay, here's what was bothering me. Several weeks ago, a month ago, whatever it was when I started this, I went to Google, and you guys can do this too with your smartphones or with your desktop. I went to Google and I typed in Lori Ballen reviews or Lori Ballen team reviews. I was looking up several ways that people might actually look me up, because we can see, because I have all the tracking and the heat maps, that people are actually clicking on the reviews tab on our homepage with a high percentage of clicks on the page compared to all the clicks on the page. So we know they're looking at reviews. We also know that people go look at reviews before they hire a real estate agent quite frequently online, okay? Now, the question is, okay, we know we need reviews. Reviews also are driving search engine optimization. You know, Google says reviews aren't necessarily a direct ranking factor, but they are listening to brand inflection, which means if somebody says something good about you or your brand, or somebody says something bad about you or your brand, whether or not they put a link on there, Google understands the words on the page that this person, John Smith, said something positive about Lori Ballen team in Las Vegas, and that brand inflection can have we'll just call it an indirect result on your search engine rankings right now. And I think we're going to see that play heavier and heavier. Also, if you guys notice on Facebook, when somebody posts that little recommendations box, and it says, I'm looking for a real estate agent, who do you know, right? And everybody starts chiming in with whoever the popular people are in that area. Well, depending on how they type in the name and depending on how you've set up your name, an automatic tag can actually show up in the comments. Well, if you've noticed, the automatic tag is your Facebook business page, okay? If you have reviews on your Facebook business page, and this is Facebook mastery right here. I mean, these guys are going to be rolling out even more and more when it comes to this when it comes to businesses and websites and reviews, Facebook is really going after it. In fact, my personal belief is we will all have a website type thing within Facebook before long. But it wants to keep you on Facebook, right? So it's not bringing in your website and other information. It's tagging your business page. Well, automatically, if you have reviews on that business page, it's giving you the score. Oh gosh, my email's popping up. Are you guys able to see that? Let me just click to turn off the notifications. I don't know what you can see and can't see. Oh, I do know because I can see it right here. All you can see is me, not my screen, so it doesn't make any difference. Okay. All right. Hey, Margaret, how you doing? So if you know that when somebody says your name and you've strategically set up your Facebook business page correctly, and you're collecting reviews on your Facebook business page, there's a good chance people are going to see those reviews and that review score and the number of reviews, and you might get the referral over somebody else. We're going to see this grow and grow and grow and grow, okay? So this is important that we're collecting reviews. What I want is when somebody goes to the search engine, so let me be very specific here. I'm going to talk about Zillow and Yelp and all those in a minute, but when somebody goes to Google or their phone and says Lori Ballen reviews or Lori Ballen team reviews, because I have two businesses, so it could come up under either one, or they Google it, I want to be number one. I want my website to be number one, because not Zillow, not Yelp, which right now I'm competing with Yelp. I keep taking the one spot and then they take it back, and so we're going back and forth. The reason why is because if they go to my website, I'm the only agent there. They're not going to start surfing around. If they go to Zillow and they start surfing around, they're going to start looking at houses on Zillow. They're going to start looking at other agents on Zillow. They're not just there to look at your review. They might be just there to look at your review. Hey, I want to hire this guy to sell my house. Let me go see how good he is. Maybe. But also, there's a good chance you're going to get distracted and start looking at other people and other competitors, right? Same with Yelp. It's full of ads. It's full of sponsored. You might also like this agent. I don't want any of that. If they're going to look up, I want to know how good Lori Ballen is, I want them to land on my homepage. Hold on, I'm just reading DJ's question. I know this is about reviews, but do you have a how to correctly set up Facebook business page? You know what? That is a really great question, because I do, but it's old, and there's been so many changes since then, so I think I should do another one. So I'm glad you actually asked that, because I think I'll go ahead and do another one, because they keep adding stuff to it. And oh my gosh, even like the Google My Business a couple weeks ago, they rolled out the ability to add sticky posts, like social. They added the ability to add video now to our Google My Business page, which is so important as far as Google itself. All right, so let me go back to reviews for a second. All right, so here's what I did. When I first looked this up, the top ranking pages, when you typed in Lori Ballen reviews, it went like this: Zillow, Yelp, I believe there was a Truly or something on there, Realtor.com, Facebook. Facebook was actually high up on the hierarchy. Okay, so regardless of whether or not I had collected a lot of reviews on something or not, there were certain ones that were just kind of taking priority there. Okay. Yeah, I see we got another vote from Brooke that wants me to do the Facebook page. Okay, I will, because I need to do that for my SEO course anyway, so I will do that for you guys. All right, so when I looked at this, I was frustrated, because I said, I don't want Zillow and Yelp and all of those to be on top. I want mine. And my web page wasn't even, my own website wasn't even ranking on page one when I typed in Lori Ballen team reviews. I just hadn't thought about it, because I've been collecting them all on Zillow and on Yelp and on Facebook. Facebook's been my priority, and Google+, but I hadn't yet carried that over to my real estate website. So you guys can see an example. I can't drive it on here at the same time, unfortunately. It doesn't give me a switch to screen share option anywhere. Or I was going to show you that. And if anybody knows, tell me, because maybe I just haven't figured this out yet. But there's no button on my screen now that says share screen, because I was going to do camera and then share screen. So here's what I did. These were the exact actions I took, okay? First thing was I added a reviews component to my website. I cannot believe how many real estate agents, including myself, had not thought to do this. Such a simple thing. We need to have an ability to add reviews to our own website, okay? Now, we're still going to collect reviews on Zillow. We're still going to collect reviews on Facebook. We're still going to collect reviews on Google+. We're still going to collect reviews on Yelp, okay? And why are we still going to collect reviews on there? Because people do go there to look at reviews, and wherever it is that your client base is the most, you want to have a large amount of reviews. So absolutely, if you're spending a lot of money on Zillow and you know that people are finding your inventory on Zillow and you want to stack those reviews there, then make that one a priority. But don't put that as a priority before your own website. So here's how we do it. We collect the reviews on the other channels. That's fine. I'm working on something with my software team to develop something where they can start on our website and push out to the others. But you know how that is with, there's all kinds of catches with that stuff, and they want people posting natively on their website. So we're trying to figure out how to get past some of that. So what I did is I contacted my developer. I own a marketing company, and I have my own developers and SEOs and designers and things like that. So I talked to them and I said, you guys, I need a review component as soon as possible as we're rolling out these new real estate agent websites. So what my developer did is he went in and coded this little component that allows us to manually add a review. And it's gorgeous. If you want to see it, go to ballenvegas.com. Look at the home page, just scroll down a little bit and you'll see the reviews. And you'll be able to see how they're on the home page. And what my website does is I'm able to enter any review and add a little check mark next to it and say, I want this featured on the home page. So then I can jog those reviews, whatever I think is the most important or that I want on the home page. And you can choose to showcase 3 reviews, 6 reviews, 9 reviews, 12 reviews. But you have to remember that when people are scrolling on a phone, it's everything that looks horizontal on a desktop is stacked on vertically on a mobile device. So they have to scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll. So if you put too many reviews and too many community pages and things on your homepage, which I just tested this, then they have to scroll, you might lose them. So I'm looking now at just putting 3 of each selection on the homepage, and you can see that example on ballenvegas.com. And so if you click on reviews, then you go to the reviews section and you can see actually all of the reviews, okay? So the first thing I did was collect reviews. Now, if you do not have a BREW, which stands for Ballen Real Estate Agent Websites, and you're not in the market to invest in a new website for yourself right now, you've got to figure out what's the workaround for you, okay? If you're using WordPress and it's not locked up, so you have the ability to add what's called a plugin. Plugins are add functionality to your website. This is why I love WordPress. It's amazing what you can actually do with a simple plugin. Now you have to be careful because some of these, they're called plugins. They're all online. There's nothing you actually have to do manually. You go in and you download it. You want them to be very lightweight plugins that don't slow your website down. Okay, so I've been researching this and I found a plugin called Short Codes Ultimate. And I need to put a link for you in this video afterwards because I do have an affiliate link for the upgrade. I don't know if it saves you anything or not, but I did ask them for one. The upgrade has a testimonial component that I really, really like that looks very similar to what I've built in the BREW, where you're able to upload an image of the person leaving the review, which I personally think is incredibly important, have a little photo there. Their quote, you can include a link to their website or to wherever if you want to give them a link back, and then what they said. Now, when it comes to the photo, if you don't have a photo of the client, I go in and go to copyright-free software. I go into my copyright-free software account, and I just download like a thumb up or a happy face or an applause, like somebody that looks like they're applauding or something. There's all kinds of stuff you can do with stock art. Copyright-free photos if you don't have the client's photo, but you want to have something in that little bubble. I think that's so important. I tried it without the images, and I just thought it was a fail. We got to have those images. If you can get the client's photo, gosh, everybody's on Facebook now. You know, I would get their permission first if you're going to use their photo and they're not a professional that's got their image out there everywhere. Okay, so what I did is I started collecting these. Now, you can There's a lot of other plugins on WordPress also that you can use with your testimonials, okay? If you're using a website like, Boomtown or Commissions Inc. or Real Geeks or REW, I don't know what they have or what the capabilities are to build onto, and so I can't answer to those specifically, but I'm telling you, whoever your web service provider is, you need to go find out, how do I add a reviews area to my website? And on your home page, there needs to be, in your menu, the ability to access your own reviews, okay? Whatever your team is, whatever your name is, so-and-so real estate agent reviews, okay? And then what you're going to do is on some of your other pages, you're going to refer to your reviews page. So what I did was I use, I'm looking to see if there's any questions as you guys are typing it in. I use analytics software that tells me which pages on my website get the most traffic, okay? So you can use Google Analytics for this. It's free, and almost every web provider I know has the ability to integrate with the Google Analytics, and if it doesn't, you got a real problem. It's a free tool by Google, and it'll tell you which pages on your website are performing at the highest level. And for my clients that are using Clicky, which is the analytic tool we've integrated inside the Brew sites, same thing. Click on content, and it'll sort highest to lowest. You can look at the last 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, go back a year, whatever, and go look at your top traffic pages. Now, go to those pages. What I did is at the very bottom of the page, I did a little thumbs up emoji, like a little Facebook thumbs up emoji. And then next to it, I put Lori Ballen Team Reviews. You have to be very specific. Whatever your name is needs to be your name on everything that you do, okay? You don't want to mix that up. It's got to be very consistent. So if you are Michelle, I'm going to butcher the name, aren't I? Dang it, I pick a hard one. Michelle Zaragoza. I love Michelle. Did I get that right? Okay, so if you're Michelle Zaragoza, she can correct me if I said it wrong, and you happen to be a real estate agent, let's just say, or maybe you're a team leader and you want to make sure that you have certain rankings for recruiting or whatever on the internet as well, which is smart as a team leader. She would want to make sure that, let's just say it was real estate agent, and she has Michelle Zaragoza, real estate agent, okay? That should be the name of her website, that not her .com, but the actual title. It should be, or at least her about page at the very least. That should be what's registered on Google My Business. That should be what your Facebook business page is called. That should be what your Yelp identification is called. That should be what your Zillow is called. That should be what you have on Realtor.com. And your address and phone number and website should be identical across all of these as well. That consistency helps your brand on the search engines. It actually helps your brand on social as well. So you want to have this consistency across the board. So whatever that page is, call it Your Business Name Reviews. So it would be Michelle Zaragoza Real Estate Agent Reviews, if she's going by real estate agent. Does that make sense? And I put this little thumbs up on the bottom of each page. And for those of you that have a Mac, if you do Control, Command, Spacebar, an emoji box opens. If you don't have the new one with the emoji scrolling. And then you can actually just click on any emoji and add it right there to your website, into the title or the description. You can put it all kinds of emojis in there, okay? And then I underline it and put a link to my reviews page. And what happens is part of that link juice will flow from that page to the reviews page, helping it start to rank on the search engines. And it only took me, it was less than 2 weeks from the day I started it to bump Zillow down to the bottom of the page. And actually, I took #1, but I just now looked right before I got on the call, and Yelp is back on the #1 spot, at least on my phone. You guys type in Lori Ballen Team Reviews on your phone or on your desktop and let me know what position my own website, Ballen Vegas, shows up on. Okay, now the conversation of which is better, reviews or testimonials, you want reviews. Reviews where they give you a set of stars. It matters. You want them reviewing you like a service, like a product. Testimonials where somebody gets on a video and says you're fantastic or writes you a letter can still be used. I would put those on YouTube. I'd embed them on my website. They have a place. But I'm specifically talking about reviews where they rate you. Okay? Now, here's another advanced tip. And this is benefiting us already. I can see it in my tracking software. There's something called schema. And schema is pretty geeky. It is a language for marking up a website to let Google know that you have structured data on your page. Now, I know that sounded like a mouthful, but it's very simple actually to do. What you do is you either use Google's structured data markup tool, which I'll probably have to get you another video on that, or you can add a plugin to your website that has some sort of schema plugin. For our WordPress sites, we're using all-in-one schema. It's free and it's easy. And my paid tool was heavier, slowed down the website, and did not get any better results than the free one. So we've junked the paid one and gone back to the free one. Are any of you guys out there? Okay, Reagan says, am I number 1 in yours, Reagan? Or number 2 under Yelp for Lori Ballen team reviews? Okay, so I'm waiting for her answer to pop up. So if you are using a plugin, oops. Okay, I just want to make sure I was seeing. Okay, Reagan says I'm number 1 in her market. Yay! That only took like 2 weeks. Killer. I don't know how much we talked about this, Reagan, when you guys were in Vegas in my class live. Did we look that up or actually talk about it? Okay, Brooke says I'm number 1 too. All right, cool. Allison says number 2 on desktop. Oh, I'm in the top 2 above Yelp. The first one is, oh no, that one is me. The one that says Lori Ballen Archive, that is me. So I am number 1 then for you too, Allison. I have the archive as my website as well. Okay, so cool. So this shows you how well this actually works. And again, I'm only referring to if somebody goes to Google, looks you up. If they're on Zillow, you want to have your reviews on Zillow. So it doesn't have to be one or the other, okay? There's absolutely nothing wrong with collecting reviews from your clients and asking permission to have them on whatever they put on Zillow to also put on your website. They left that review for you. And no, there's no concern about duplicate content, okay? Let me in fact tell you that Google does not have a duplicate content penalty per se. They have spam penalties, and that's more or less where duplicate content falls in. Thin content, pages that have nothing but duplicate content, or pages that are scoured across the web, and there's a million copies. You have to worry about all of that. But are you in trouble if you have reviews on Zillow and you also put them on your website? Absolutely not. Now, here's what I have found, that when I use schema, and at the bottom, here's how it works. When you add the review in my case is actually counts as a page. It has its own URL. Each review has its own title, or I think it's a post, but still a post is a page, so close enough. It has its own URL. It's published uniquely on the web for that one particular page, okay? I can add video, I can add links, I can do all kinds of things to it. And at the bottom, these little fields open. This is where the schema is. These little boxes, these little fields open, and it says, what do you want to mark up this page as? What kind of schema do you want to add? What structured data is on this page? And I drop it down and choose review. It's a review. And then it says, who are you reviewing? A person, a product, a service, that kind of thing. So you can choose person, and then it'll say how many stars, and you can choose the number of stars, and then what is their name? You can upload a picture. Well, now, when somebody goes in Google's Lori Ballen team reviews, if you scroll down that page where you see there's an actual literal review with gold stars, that's actually a rich snippet that was earned in through the structured data of the star elements of the review. And so where that page would not have had the 5 stars earlier, it now does, and now it stands out over all the other reviews on the page. And it's not only there if somebody types in Lori Ballen team reviews. If they were to type in, like, you know, they're looking up Las Vegas real estate agent reviews or whatever, if that page happens to rank, those 5 stars show up there. So that's a way to get a rich snippet that has more to its contents than just a little tiny preview on Google, which is strong too. Okay. Okay. So Margaret says I'm number one on page, and number 2, and then 3 is number Yelp. 4 or 5. Okay, perfect. That's exactly what I needed to know. Okay, so the key to making all of this work is, 1, make sure that your Facebook business page, your Google My Plus page, your website, your Yelp, your Pinterest business account, your LinkedIn business account, all of those accounts have the same title. Okay, so if you're going to be Reagan Laughlin, South Dakota real estate agent, then it should say that across all of them, okay? If it's going to say Reagan Laughlin Realtor and have the little symbol, great. It should be that way across all of the channels so that you have this consistency in your citations. Next, you want to collect reviews. Okay, now let's talk about that for a second, because isn't that a challenge in itself? Is just getting people to leave us the reviews. Oh, mercy. So we put something into place now, and it's pretty cool. We use Infusionsoft, and I know Infusionsoft is a CRM, a customer relationship management system. Most real estate agents hate Infusionsoft. They don't want it. They think it's too geeky. We think it's the most brilliant product that ever was because of what we've been able to do with it. Okay, so I don't know why, but Jeff, who's my COO and my brother, and Sabrina, who's my lead trainer and my personal assistant, she handles all of our graphics and our upsells and works on the database and all of that, who's my daughter. All 3 of us have this thought process that we just all get Infusionsoft right out of the box. I don't know what that is. But it has kind of this if this then that thinking, which is what I was looking for and I could not find in any other CRM that I had tried so far. I wanted tracking. There's so much I wanted, so that's why we went for it. Okay, now we have a real estate version now that we have built and that we sell, and that in the next week I believe it's launching as an upgrade to our Brew websites. That's going to have tracking, and it's going to have reporting, and it's going to have lead flow, and it's going to have the campaigns and the auto dialers and all the great stuff. Okay, you can talk to Jeff about that. Go over to ballenbrands.com/brew and fill out an inquiry form or talk to Jeff about it, because he knows more about when it's coming out and pricing and whatnot than I do. Okay, so it's all built on what we built for me. So now I'm able to give it to everybody else. Well, what this system does is, here's how it works. Not before we have a closing, but prior to. So we get a new lead, a new listing, a new buyer, a campaign starts. There's a process where we send out an introduction, welcome to the team, this is who we are, this is who you'll be dealing with. And then there's kind of a check-in throughout the process that says, hey, how are we doing? And then they can leave a review at any time, right? We see a little bit with that. But on the last piece, where when it closes and we send them an email that says, normally we used to send out an email that said, hey, all of our business is driven by reviews. Your review is very important to us. Please leave one on Google Plus or Facebook or Zillow, and we would give them these options, right? No, hardly anybody ever does and. You got to make it easy on them to go to where they want to go, okay? I'm okay if they just leave it on Zillow, or they just leave it on Yelp, or they just leave it on Facebook. I just want to get it collected, and then I'll put it on my own website, of course, which is my goal. What happens is now we change that last email, and it now says, thank you for doing business with us. We improve our services based on your feedback. So how do you think we did? And it's a very simple email, and they can give us a rating between 1 and 5. And there's nothing else on the page. You can't freak them out. You got to give them a clear-cut option. If they press 5, this is the if this then that of Infusionsoft. If they press 5, then they automatically are asked to leave a review. I'd have to ask Sabrina exactly how it works. I don't know if it immediately goes to, or if they immediately get an email now saying, can you please leave a review on one of these sites? I think it immediately does something. It folds over to the new page and gives them the review options. But if they leave 1 to 4, it does not ask them to leave a review. Instead, a survey goes out and says, how could we have improved our business? What could we have done where you would have given us a 5, okay? The reason for that is we don't want 4s and below on our reviews sites, because Facebook and Google My Business actually take an aggregate of the 2 social platform reviews and they put them together and give you a score, okay? So if you have all 5 stars on Facebook and then you on Google My Business, oh gosh, hold on, I have to plug in. It's gonna die, hold on. That is funny. I didn't leave, I promise, I'm right here. Okay. All of a sudden I got a low battery warning, my computer was gonna shut off. Okay, so, and then on Google My Business, you have 4 stars or whatever. It averages them together and it knocks both scores down. Instead of having a 5 and a 4, it averages them together, okay? What's really the pits is we got spammed, a lot of us in Vegas did recently, where somebody hit our Google reviews accounts and they left negative reviews from each other. So, for example, another real estate agent in Vegas got 10 negative reviews, and one of them said from Lori Ballen. And then he left me a negative review, but he didn't. And then this guy left both of us negative reviews, and we're all real estate agents leaving each other negative reviews. It was all spam. It was all hacked somehow. And so we contacted Google My Business, and even though we were able to get the actual, most of the actual written review, most of them didn't even say anything. They just had a 0 or a 1 star. And it said Google user, but it said our names next to it, but it was just actually a Google user. And so they were able to remove most of those, but they didn't change the score. So here we got all these amazing 5-star reviews. We've got a 4.2 rating on Google, so we're still working on getting that changed. But I don't want somebody to leave a 4-star review, because even though it would still look good to a consumer, you know, okay, 4 or 5, that means it's still pretty good. In fact, I'll tell you, my daughter Sabrina and I were in Maryland the last couple days. We just got home yesterday, so we were there last few days. And we were going to eat, and we didn't know where to go eat. We hadn't asked anybody. And so we're kind of scrolling Facebook and Yelp, and it was really cool. I actually went on to Facebook, and I typed in, I checked in Baltimore. And then all of a sudden Facebook popped up with, here's some of your other friends that have also checked into Baltimore. And so I clicked on my friend Melissa, and then it showed me everywhere she had checked in, like in the last 6 months or whatever. She had a gazillion restaurants on there, which was cool, but none of them were nearby us. And anyways, we went to Yelp, and we're looking at the reviews, and we're looking at pictures. And if they had a 4-star review, I was fine. Great, I'll still go there. But if it was 3 or below, I didn't want to go to that restaurant. But I don't want 4-star reviews on this website because of the aggregate score. Does that make sense? And so that's how we do that. You guys have any questions about that on that Infusionsoft or that concept? And so it's all automated. All we do as soon as we go into Infusionsoft and we change the status from active to contingent to escrow to close, that's how our campaigns fire, is based on where they're at in the sales process. And so once it's changed to past clients and it closes out the transaction, this email automatically goes out to them and fires. And it's been huge for us for getting reviews. And again, collect them wherever it is that you want to collect them, but get them onto your website. So a lot of you guys have been on here, any thoughts, questions? No debate about the review conversation in general, or questions on how to apply that to your website? Or are we good? Is everybody kind of up with the understanding of if I keep saying if it were me, but it is me, which is hilarious because I'm a real estate agent too. My priority for me is Facebook first. And the reason for that is 70% of my closed business, believe it or not, is not Google. Google will never be 70%. Very rarely will it be more than 20-25% of your business, closed business, okay? It's a nice leg to a business, but typically it's not going to be the pure driving source. So all of my business comes from online, but it comes from Google, organic rankings, and it comes from social media. And one of those is real estate agent-to-agent referrals that come through Facebook, right? And so I want, when people go in there and tag me, that they're seeing a lot of reviews on there. And then Google My Business, although it's complicated and hard to use, I want as many reviews on there as I can. And then I'm going to make sure that those reviews get on my own website, even if I'm manually entering them myself, and that I am strategically ranking on the search engines for my own brand. Here's the bottom line. You want your brand to live on something you own. Because who wants to be at the mercy of building this huge business and this huge brand, and then have something go awry with Zillow and all of your reviews are gone because you put all your eggs in that one basket on a platform you don't own? Or everything on Yelp, and then Yelp can just decide one day to get up and delete all your reviews, which we know all this stuff really happens where they delete the reviews. I want my brand to live where I can control it. I want it to live on something I own. I want it to live on something, if I switch brokerages, it can go with me. I want to be able to feature which reviews I want up top. I want to be able to sort them by highest to lowest. You know, if I have control, I can completely feature how I want those reviews to show up. And if they're on my website, they're not looking at other real estate agents, and they're not looking at other advertisements. And if they start surfing around, they're going to be looking at my stuff, right? All right. So question, do you recommend just a name like Lori Ballen or a keyword attached to it, such as Lori Ballen Real Estate, on these profiles? Such a great question. And I've been dabbling back and forth with this, trying to find really where the best place to live is as far as branding and how it looks on social media and how it functions on Google too. So I ended up settling with Lori Ballen Team, but I may go back in and play with the citations and add Lori Ballen Team Realtor or Lori Ballen Team Las Vegas. Now, I have that in a couple of them. I just didn't add them to add all of them yet because we're testing and playing with it a little bit. When somebody goes to Google and they type in your city real estate agent, there's something that pops up in most areas called the local pack. And that is driven by Google My Business. And if you have not set that up yet, go to Google My Business. Go into Google and just type in Google My Business and you'll find it. And go in and set up your business account for free. And now you don't even need an address. It used to be they would mail you a postcard, and now they can text you a code to your phone, unless that's only for the revision, which I'm not 100% sure. So get your business verified with Google. That's really important. Well, this local pack that shows up, here's what I can tell you. Rand Fishkin and SimilarWeb did a test on how much business real estate agents get from that local pack, and it's not a whole lot. But because most people are not looking for a real estate agent, they're looking for a house or they're looking for home values before they start looking for a person. And that's really why there's not a high click-through rate on those. Yet it's still good for branding. It's still good for general ranking. And in those cases, I think having a keyword in the title is beneficial. Also, if you haven't noticed, Facebook is becoming a massive search engine. And I think their goal is to take on Google. And I just saw the other day on their last update some changes they made to mobile that were very significant to how their search bar is functioning. And I'll give you an example when of using the search bar. I'm starting to find myself using the Facebook search bar more than Google for some particular cases. When the Las Vegas shooting happened here, it was terrible. I had gone to sleep that night, and I went to sleep early. I generally do. And I woke up the next morning, my phone was blowing up, and everybody's like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And I had no idea what they were talking about. Well, I was already on Facebook receiving all these messages. I went up to the search bar, and I typed in Las Vegas shooting, and I just watched a couple news clips right from Facebook, and I saw what was going on. I never even went to Google. We're going to see this grow more and more and more and more. Well, in those cases, that keyword does have relevance. If somebody's typing something in that has the word Las Vegas, and your page and my page were to have the word Las Vegas, there's a better chance I'm going to show up in there. Or you can optimize your posts. If your page isn't optimized with the city and the location, your post can be. If you watch my stuff, there's a real major reason why I'm putting hashtags in my in every post right now. They're not every post, but in strategically in certain ones. There's a reason why I say the word Las Vegas as often as I do. Like today, for example, when I said it's so beautiful in Las Vegas today, I'm going to go buy myself some flowers, some fresh fruit and vegetable. If I wasn't being purposeful, I would have just said it's so beautiful outside today. I'm going to go buy some flowers. But I purposely make sure I said the word Las Vegas because I want to remind everybody where I'm from, if they happen to get a referral, without saying, hey, oh, by the way, give me a referral. It's a subtle suggestion, I'm from Las Vegas. And if somebody goes to Facebook and types something in that says Las Vegas home, Las Vegas real estate, and I've included any of those keywords in my post, I'm also likely to come up under in their post. So how you name your page is going to be important, and then how you strategically do your posts. I know I got off the reviews topic a little bit, but you have to think about more than one thing when you're thinking about how do I want to brand this, right? So in my case, I added the phone number to my Facebook business page. And I noticed based on the number of characters, I had a little more room to accentuate that page and how I wanted it to show up on every post. And so that one starts with the Lori Ballen team, but I did add a little bit of the extra because if anybody tags me, I want that phone number showing up in that tag. So if I'm not able to get to Facebook fast enough, there's a chance that person will still reach out and contact us. So just letting you know, that was just a little piece of strategy of adding that to the Facebook business page. But having them all set the same name. And by the way, here's something you need to know. Realtor, the designation, you have to be careful about how you use that in your social media and on your posts. It's so funny. So Realtor, the National Association of Realtors actually contacted me. I had done a video and a blog post about why the title was why a realtor's home valuation is better than Zillow, than a computer, essentially. And I wrote this super comprehensive article on why they don't want to count on a Zestimate or just a general online calculator, but why they should have a real estate agent come out. And I got the nicest letter from the National Association of Realtors, and they said, we love your article. In fact, we love your article so much that it's the topic of our discussion at the next meeting, because we need to talk about how we as real estate agents do a better job of providing these home values and explaining this to people. However, you cannot use the word realtor in your title. You cannot use realtor in your URL. You cannot use realtor to replace the word agent or as a noun or anything. The only way you can use the word realtor is if it comes before or after your name. And so if you put all across your business pages, if I were to put Lori Ballen Realtor, that's acceptable. But Lori Ballen Las Vegas Realtor is not within the trademark licenses. So if you're going to put realtor in all of those things, just make sure you do it correctly so that it doesn't come back to bite you later and you have to go in and change all of those things, All right. Good conversation. Anything else? Any talks? I know a lot of you guys joined late. You can definitely watch it back. But are there any other comments or questions on how to do reviews? So set up your Google My Business. Know how you're going to title your page. Set up your name, address, phone, and website all the same consistently across all of your channels. And create a reviews page or a reviews component on your own website so that you can add reviews. And then you want to reference that review page as many times as you can. Check out and make sure the citation is the same again. Check out Lori Ballen Reviews and put the little link in there so that you can start ranking for that. So when you get off this call, go look up how you rank on the search engine for reviews, your name reviews, and see what shows up. Personally, again, advertising dollars going on Zillow, great. Put a bunch of reviews on Zillow, have that be your primary collecting place. But also have your own website, put the reviews on your own website, and work strategically to rank for your own website. Because, and if you don't own your website, well, that's a whole nother conversation, right? You need to own your domain. You should own your own website. That's an asset. That's content you're putting into it. If you do need a real estate agent website, reach out to Jeff. Go to ballenbrands.com and check it out. We do pay-per-click marketing and blog content and SEO and real estate websites and all that good stuff. And he can kind of walk you through what we have and what that review component looks like. And coming up soon, I've got my websites that are non-real estate related that are completely driven by a review component as well. So, before I let you go, if you have any referrals, Lori Ballen team in Las Vegas, Henderson, and North Las Vegas, and that will do it for me for today, and I'll talk to you guys all later.